Congressional districts in Maryland continue to be a hot topic for the governor, and the commission he created has presented their report. Ed, what's the potential next steps here?
Well, before we look at the next steps, let me read a quote from our sitting governor. He said,
It's not about bunnies, is it?
No, it's not
Okay,
about
good.
bunnies. And his name's not Simon.
Okay,
either.
that's good.
We have some of the most gerrymandered districts in the country. This
do
is not
that.
a distinction of which we should be proud of. And I know there's lots of different ways that you have to legally do or have the votes and whatever to do districts, but you know, I'm just going to go completely out of the box and simply say if you have a mostly Republican area, then that district should probably, if that's who the folks are who live there as a majority, that's what it should probably mirror. We have a 6th district that goes from Garrett County to Montgomery County, for heaven's sakes. I mean, that to me is just nonsense.
It should be called the C&O Canal District because it really follows the canal path all the way down.
And so it would go even deeper because then it would go away and right to the Washington,
Right to
D.C.
DC.
border. Yeah, so I just, I have a real problem with that. And frankly, to be fair about that, Carl, since on the Democratic side, if you have-
everyone does it.
If you you have a but if you have a district that's mostly Democratic citizens that live there, then that's what that should mirror as well.
I agree.
really
Let's
should.
give people the
Because that's the
representation
people
they
who
ought
are
to
there.
have.
Like 57% of the district, of the 6, is the population is concentrated in Montgomery County.
That's correct. But Montgomery County also has one of the largest number of Republicans in the entire state of Maryland.
Yeah.
We used to have a lot
Which
more
is
Democrats in the 6th district, and you had the Byrons were elected, re-elected. You had the Cushwalls as an example, and it changed here. The numbers of the Republicans went up, and the Democrats went down, and we mirrored that with the 6th district. And then when we had the gerrymandering done, you know, the whole thing changed, and
But weren't the
we had a
Democrats,
Democratic congressman.
you know, back 20, 30, 40 years ago, a little bit more moderate than where we are today? I mean, I'm not saying this to
I think there are many moderate Democrats. I think there are many moderate Republicans. What we find is we have a fringe at both parties, a very far right fringe and a very far left fringe, and I don't think either one of those really speak to or mirror what real Republicans and real Democrats are.
I think we've become far more polarized than we used to be. And I do think that the conservative element has left the Democratic Party by and large. I think the liberal element has left the Republican Party by and large. We used to have, what is it, Tuesday Republicans that John Lindsay used to lead. I think we've become far more polarized than that, but I'm not entirely sure how much that has to do with the gerrymandering we've got.
Well, I think because Democrats have the advantage in
But
Maryland state legislature.
Well, and this is true, and wherever a party has advantage in the legislature, they gerrymander.
They do.
All over the place.
And
I
it's
think there are
wrong.
maybe half a dozen states which have independent commissions, like we've proposed now, who have
have
gone in and actually fixed the system.
My
But
friend
it's rare. I'd love to see it happen
Some
here.
people might say that if you had a district that say was Republican and that was your district, that you could never elect a Democrat there. And I say that's not true. We've elected a Republican governor,
Yeah.
2 of them in the last 12 or 15 years in a Democratic state. So if you have a Republican congressperson in the 6th district who doesn't perform, I will tell you that sooner or later, if you have a strong Democrat run in that Republican
it's gonna-
district, that
probably.
Democrat will win.
Maybe
But-
Terry Baker will be the next.
But as far as the
Perhaps.
redrawing the district lines, do you think a bipartisan commission will really be able to do that?
I hope so.
I don't know. It's the only way we should be doing it, though. It's got to be bipartisan.
But the Republicans, in order to change the congressional districts in Maryland, they're going to need to win. Larry Hogan's going to need to win re-election in 2018 because 2020 will be the opportunity to change this district. And my friend Walter Olson, who is a scholar at the Cato Institute, a Yale guy, really smart guy, lives in Newmarket, and he was appointed by the governor to lead this bipartisan coalition. And they have their findings, and they're doing some great work, and the message is getting out. I think this really does transcend party lines.
It should. It should.
Because I don't think if the Republicans, Republicans, Democrats, whatever, but I'm saying that, look at the 6th district. This is clearly
It's political
a
gamesmanship.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is a politically conservative to moderate district, and John Delaney has a lot of money.
Ryan, that's the last word. We need to move on. I'm sorry. Stay tuned. The last call is next.